You have the devil and the lovers so far in this reading, and that's telling of a very interesting connection. Sometimes it's karmic, sometimes it's just as just a relationship in which someone feels that they can not live without, but they're having a hard time living with it at the same time. But mostly, I feel like there's a bond, there's a connection into this, into there's a bond and a connection. But obviously, there's something holding you back. The devil always talks about something holding you back, and I don't think he's ever a person, because nobody can take our power away. We give that up. Leos, you are like one of the most powerful signs in the zodiac. Okay, one of the powerful because you guys have fixed energy, and fixed energy is hard to budge. Anyway, you guys are grounded. You guys have a foundation. You guys create a foundation for people to shine and for yourself to shine. Okay, so you guys are very strong innately, so no one can just come up to you and just snatch your power away. Not with the seventh house being Aquarius, you're not gonna have that power snatched. So nobody took your power away. It's where you're giving your power up to that makes it harder for you to achieve certain things, that make you feel held back, make you feel trapped, make you feel stuck. You gotta find where your power is being given to so you could get that power back and do what you need to do, right? So again, at the same time, it doesn't mean that you're not predisposed to manipulation, okay? That doesn't mean that. It could mean that you have been influenced to give your power away, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't a choice for you to give it. You know what I mean? So this, and the reason why I'm even saying all this is because in order for you to know that you have power, you have to acknowledge what you do with it. Even if it was through, somebody coercing you to give it to you or not, you still made that choice. But that choice is empowering for you. It's meant to be said as an empowering thing because you are so strong, you're so powerful that you gave your power up. But you're also so powerful and strong that you can take your power back. You get what I'm saying? Nobody can ever dupe a Leo. Nobody. Okay? And if they try that and they get away with it for 5 minutes, they're going to realize they messed with the wrong person. Okay? But going ahead, starting off with this, I'm going to start with this person here. And the way they think about this relationship is the Page of Wands. I like this energy because it does talk about something starting new, starting fresh. This is a new beginning in a sense, but a small one is a small step. And I feel like they're trying to take lighthearted steps with this. They don't want to take it very seriously because I think they've gone through a lot of serious things. But at the same time, I think it does matter a lot to them what steps they take. You know what I mean? This is something from the heart as well. Even though it's fun, even though it's a new adventure, it's a spark. It's it's a small little, spark of an inspiration towards a certain goal, certain direction in this person's life. I do feel like they want to just take it easy. They don't want to do anything super, super serious do anything super serious at this moment. Not because they don't ever want to commit, but because they just want to ease into it. If it starts off serious, then that gets them, that makes them feel certain, that makes them feel a little bit nervous, right? Because it's like, what does it need to be so serious about? I've been serious for such a long time. I'm getting a lot of vibes that this person has had a very rough time, a rough go at things, because of how they're presenting themselves with the present, which is the Four of Swords here. This person had to take a break, man. That's how tired they were. Like, they see themselves as coming out of a resting phase. They're still in it, I think. They're still kind of like trying to wake up, if that makes sense. Trying to, continue the recovery process that doesn't have to do with resting, but now taking action. I think this person is in a way very restless. They're ready to go, but at the same time, this is like coming out of, like, for instance, think about, you just scraped your knee, right? You just got to put a bandage over it and you want to go outside and run, right? You got repaired, but you're still healing. It doesn't just, like, you don't shake it off. You're trying to shake it off, but of course the pain is, like, still in the forefront. And that could be very difficult for this person to move forward. I think this person has good intentions. I feel like this person, besides intentions, this person has a good attitude about about life, right? They're taking a rest, they're taking a moment to reflect, but they want to take a step in where there's a little bit more to engage in, right? They want to have a little bit more fun with their lives, and I think they see this relationship as an opportunity to do something new, to have more fun, to embrace a new way of living that isn't so serious, that isn't going to, shun their creativity. Now, the other person showing here, the Fool. Now, they're kind of similar energies here, but the person feels like this relationship is definitely going to require them to take a leap of faith. You know, this is something that's really brand new, and they know it is. And I think they're having to come with it with open eyes, open ears, and open heart. Right? Then they're not going to be, coming at this with any sort of, any sort of perspective outside of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like anything that's regarding relationships, they're going to be just new and present to it. They have boundaries, I feel like, though, because of what they, because of the Nine of Cups and the Devil coming up as the underlying energy. I feel like that person isn't going in blind. They're not stupid. The Fool may be the fool, but it's only a foolish activity that he may be doing, right? That he's only considered a fool, or this person in this card is only considered a fool because they're jumping off the edge. But they don't know why this person's taking a leap of faith. They don't know what this person's mindset is, right? Nobody knows, right? He's considered the fool because he's doing something that looks foolish, but may end up being the best decision of his life. Or her life, right? And you can't tell somebody that somebody's being stupid. You can't tell somebody that someone's not, being smart in a situation, because they're doing what they know is best for them. And that is commendable. And Leos, you do what's best for you all the time, and nobody should be judging you, nor should you be judging anybody else for doing something that they feel right, even if it looks dumb on where you are. But you're not in those shoes, and so nobody can do that to you, right? So I feel like with this person, though, this person straight up wants to, is just ready to start something new. And I feel like, honestly, Leos, this is you guys. Like, you guys are ready to just do this. You guys are ready to go. And you guys don't feel like fools, because you know that this here is, you have to come into it with the mindset of being open and learning something new. That's hard to do for you guys, and that's awesome, because that's leaving you flexible and bendable to the situation, right? Learning things differently. And that's very hard for fixed signs to do, period. But with Uranus being literally right there on the neck, at the end of Aries, and going into Taurus, you're going to be squaring that. You're going to be squaring, some sudden changes, some things that are going to be adjusting in your life. You're going to be squaring that energy. But I feel like you guys, whoever this is, even though I may feel like this is some Leos here, and this could be some Leos here too, this person here is just the same as this one. They're seeing this as an opportunity to start something new, start something different, but they're going into it with an open mind, open heart, and open perspective, right? They're learning the person, they're learning something, and they're letting go of the past, it looks like. They know that the past cannot affect this relationship, because this is going to be a different situation for them. This is a decision, a conscious decision, that this person is going to do something differently than everything else. So that's why they're not looking back. That's why they're not considering the past. They know what the past shaped them to be, which is why they're comfortable and confident in themselves to take this leap of faith, to jump off the edge, or to stand this close to the edge in the first place, to fall, to go and explore, and to start a new beginning, because they know they had, and they've learned, and they have everything that they need from the past. There's no need to reference backwards. Right? But the past here obviously is being referenced, but I feel like this person knows that they need to start something new, and not look at the past as to help them guide themselves through this situation, because there's no way that the past is going to help them with this. You have to be alert and vigilant and in the present. You got to be in the present. The past can only, help remind you of certain boundaries to have, and a certain mindset to have, certain tactics, certain techniques, certain ways of behaving. But as far as going forward, right, even those things are bound to change, because every situation isn't the same. Well, at least this one ain't going to be the same. It's very interesting. Now, the person is presenting themselves here with the Nine of Cups. This is why I feel like this person is definitely content and happy. They're not mad. They're not angry. They're happy. They're cool, right? If anything, they're cool. They're not pissed off or anything like that. They know what they want. They are going after it. So they have this thing here with this Fool card in their mind's plane that's definitely showing me that this person is definitely in a progressive place, right? They're ready to do the changes necessary. They're ready to to take on the new adventure. They know what they want, and they understand that what they want has to be focused on the now. And it may be because they've gone through situations where they have planned the future, and it didn't end up being the way they wanted to be. Excuse me. It didn't end up being where they wanted it to be, right? If that makes sense. It may have backfired. There's some things that may have came through, or maybe they realized that plans only go so far. You have to be in the moment for the dream to be executed, because sometimes, plans, as detailed as you make them, they're not going to stay stickler to what this person wants. But here's what I love about the connection between the both of you guys. You guys have temperance as the reason, as the reason as to why you guys are together. Okay, and temperance does talk about moderation in all things, keeping things balanced, right? Not overindulging in any area of your life, like not doing too much work, not doing too much play. You're just having a nice, healthy flow and balance that honestly, gets you on a good flow. Get you on a good course of manifestation, and it does require patience. Well, this is also a time of waiting and patience, but you have things to manage while you're waiting. So I think creating a balance and a nice flow in your life is what brought you two together, because you guys took care of what needed to be shaped up, and in that sense, you guys were able to come together with your own balance, with your own harmonies, with your own flow, with your own balance going on, and we're able to contribute to each other because you guys had a balanced life. It's good. The challenge now is the Empress. So that's telling me creating something new, starting something new together. The creativity aspect is one of them. But taking care of one another may be the situation, because the Empress does take care of others and herself. And I feel like with Temperance, that's a very solo sort of energy. Like, nobody's interfering with Temperance's balancing, because if somebody else does, it will disrupt his own flow. So everybody in this relationship was good at doing the things that they needed to do. But when it comes to the Empress, I feel like when it comes to creating something with each other, there is contribution to, in the situation. I think everybody's used to being on their own and good with that. But when it comes to sharing and putting, the eggs in one basket, it's kind of hard to figure out, hard to kind of get things to work together, to cooperate. The cooperation is the part that's difficult. Now, the other person showing here, the Lovers, as to why they're showing up with the Four of Swords and the Page of Wands. Like I was saying, I think this person has gone through some difficult stuff. Because usually before the Four of Swords, you have the Three of Swords. And that talks about, what does it talk about? Triggers, past pains, hurts from the past. This person is healed from that, is healing from that. It's currently, may not even be in the picture at this moment, because they're trying to heal from a situation that will bring this kind of connection back. But right now with the Empress, I don't think there was anybody else involved. Hopefully there wasn't, because I don't really see a third-party situation in this reading. I don't see anything indicating third-party situations. But I do feel like the situation may have gotten bitter. May have gotten a little toxic. There was a lot of seeing eye to eye. Why is the Devil even coming up, right? The world situation coming to an end. I think there was a lot of things that were changing about both parties, and nobody knew how to adapt with those changes. Everybody was like getting used to themselves. But when it came to the other person, it was hard to kind of see the change and accept those changes, because they were used to those changes. They were used to those patterns and behavior. Now, with the Devil and the Empress coming up here in the reading, especially with the Empress being a challenge, it could indicate that somebody was codependent in a relationship. The Temperance came in, the reason as to why you guys came together is because you guys had your own balance and your own flow, and now somebody's taking care of something that they shouldn't have, or they may have been taking care of someone else and not receiving anything on the back end, or receiving anything in return because they were expecting something back, or someone just was comfortable with being taken care of, right? And now this person may have to learn how to take care of themselves for the relationship, right? This is why the Lovers is coming up for this person. This person may have to kind of like take themselves out of the hands of someone else to be taken care of. I think it's okay to love on somebody and to show them love and even nurture the relationship and take care of them sometimes. But if it has gone to the extreme for this person, for either one of these people here that have been taking care of each other or taking care of one another, like there was not a balance here. But I think this person's taking a rest, taking a moment to step away from this thing because they may have given too much in the relationship. And this person is aspiring to do more, aspiring to do something different because they do see a future and they want to pursue it. But the thing is that somebody may have been taking care of the situation a little too much. Somebody else may have been doing this whole thing by themselves. Like I said, codependent situation, right? But it doesn't have to be that this person was conscientiously being codependent. This person just may have wanted to take care of the person, but they were putting too much on their back. They were doing everything by themselves. They weren't getting the help or the love. And then at the same time, they weren't receiving the help that they needed. Therefore, the balance that you guys had individually is all the way thrown off. No one can contribute to anybody because somebody else was taking on all of the work. And I'm surprised that the Ten of Wands didn't come out. You know what I mean? Because that talks about carrying a huge load. But I feel like this is out of love. Same with the Ten of Wands. But I feel like this was all out of love. But somebody else was just taking care of someone else. Maybe just a little too much. And that's why this person is ready to start fresh, start new, to start over. And, know what they need to do now, know what they want to do, and start pursuing it. And this person is kind of not in the picture right now. They're taking a rest, and they see that they need to start something fresh. They need to have more fun. They need to enjoy their connection and not just focus solely on the connection, or so focus solely on the other person. And on top of that, I think this whole situation is this. The relationship was just, it became more about what needed to be done versus how this person was feeling. And this is why the person, I think, going into it is ready to be more expressive and be more open about how they feel. Or at least expressive, right? To at least take action and just do what they want to do. And not do anything that they don't. They'll feel obligated to do something they don't want to do. But it had to come from a realization from the place that this person, the lovers, right? Because it's always about the self, right? It's a decision to accept. A decision to accept or to surrender to the emotions that you feel for the other person or for this thing, right? But they don't have to dictate what you do. You can love someone from a distance, but that doesn't mean that you have to move in with them right away. It doesn't mean you have to get married to them. It doesn't mean you have to start having children with this person. It doesn't mean you have to take care of the person either. And I feel like this person is realizing that this decision to love this person had nothing to do with wanting to take care of them. This was purely on them. This was purely their choice because they are coming from they wanted to come from a place of unconditional love. They did it because they loved the person regardless. But at the same time, they weren't receiving what they felt was fair. So therefore, they can't give that to that extent, and not be compensated. Not necessarily not be compensated, but not be passive enough to receive love either. Because this person was doing a lot, which is why I see this person ready to go, but they have to be more receptive. They have to surrender to the love, and this person this person should be ready to go and give it. I think this person's been wanting to give it too, but this person's, I think this person, the reason why this person's got the Four of Swords is because they know in order for me to love, I have to step back a little bit. I have to take care of me. I got to focus on me and let the other person, give the other person the opportunity to give. All right, so let's see what you guys got here with the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle, and you guys have Quantum Quattro. Quantum Quattro. Let's see what that says. Ooh, these headphones are hurting my ears, y'all. So that's number 12. Number 12. All right, I just missed it. All right, here we go. Quantum Quattro. Synergy. Synergy, man. Synergy is the golden word right now, considering that I was just talking about collaboration, cooperation, working together as two individuals trying to, actively performing as a unit. So it's hard to do. It's not an easy walk in the park, but the love is what's going to help push this forward. No matter, the struggles, the struggles, the disagreements, all that they're just challenges from here. Because that love is so strong. That's what I feel. But Quantum Quattro has amazing healing power and a dramatic effect on physical vitality. It brings about an energetic shift and integration. Self-understanding. You are an extremely complex person who is seeking wholeness within yourself. This person right here. Examine all facets of your personality, especially those who hide from yourself or others. Accept those of value. Find the gift hidden within mistakes. Forgive and let go. Release yourself from codependencies and abusive relationships. Heal your inner child. Recognize the resources you have to draw on. Divination. Karmic aspects need healing. Your question is nowhere near as straightforward as it seems, so dig deep and see all sides. Yeah, nothing is black and white. Nothing is black and white. Nothing is ever black and white. The power of the power of the whole is much greater than its component parts. Once you have all the information, you are invincible and evolve rapidly. Like I was saying, see, I'm telling you guys, your love for each other and the love for yourself is so potent and so strong that the situations, the snags you may run into moving here, from here on out, it's nothing, because you guys have that love to be in, that patience and that compassion for yourselves and for each other to be able to work this relationship out. So I'm not worried about this at all. So the chakras, it enhances. What it does is it enhances all of them. This is what the crystal does. And the soul path is holistic healing for the soul.